This week's studies, there was two, were on, the first one was the single parent chapter, and I don't know if we have any single parents or not in this group, but you might know some, so it would be probably good to have a little insight maybe on that, on where they're coming from and their children. And so millions of homes are single parent homes, and only with one parent filling the child's love tank alone, and that can be very, very difficult. But it is very important to try to get your love tank filled as well as your child's, and it really does help when you can speak their love language and know their love language and your own. And when it's all up to the single parent, it can be very lonely and stressful. If it's a result of a divorce, it can be traumatic for the kids due to it having been a choice to leave the family unit. It can be even a little bit harder than a death. So a death of a parent, the child knows it wasn't a choice, even though it is extremely traumatic. And then there's lots of other scenarios of why there was like single parenting. How can we help the children who find themselves in circumstances they never chose to be in and cannot change? One thing the chapter talked about was healing the wounded. Wounded parents trying to minister to their wounded kids, and at the same time helping to convince them that life can be fairly normal. Children never get over the pain of divorce, and common emotions are fear, anger, and anxiety. And helping your child through the grief, as a single parent tries to fill the child's love tank, they must also be aware of these responses in their grief: denial, anger, bargaining, and then more anger. Some children can move through these stages quicker if a significant adult openly communicates with the child about their loss. And those stages of denial, anger, bargaining, and more anger might prevent them from accepting love from one of the parents or both or adults for a while, until they can be healed and their wounds are healed. Stories might be useful. Reading together stories can help cope with those stress. There was a couple book suggestions: Honey for a Child's Heart by Gladys Hunt, and Books That Build Character by William Kirkpatrick. And also being open to discussion with the child and talking over what's happening daily, keeping a dialogue of their emotions, and that it's okay to talk about their feelings and feel the feels. A single parent, it suggested asking for help, and not being too prideful to do that or too shy to do that. There's grandparents, there's extended family, and if you don't have family around, maybe find church friends that can fill a role of loving you and your child. So divorce can be traumatizing. That love tank will need to be healed and nurtured through a grieving process and meeting your own needs too. I talked about being selective in building new friendships, because a single parent can be emotionally vulnerable, and so you'd want to establish friends that aren't going to take advantage of you. So that was this week's chapter, and I'll type in the verse for the week.